Peace, y'all. This is Malls once more, coming back with episode 2, episode dos, episode de of Break It On Down Now. My new series where I am giving the history and the backstory of my creative process of songs. Currently, I'm doing songs from my new album, Famous Last Words, produced by Grammy-nominated producer Drugs Beats. So let's just get right on into it.
Faithfully staying on my mall shit, no matter what they say to me. Never do what the mothers do. One of one, there can never be another you.
So today we're going to be doing track 2 from the album called What I Came to Do. When I first started writing to the song, I heard the beat and I wanted to do something real cool and just be real cool on the mic. Try to play with cadences or whatever. And I wrote about 4 bars, 5 bars, something like that. And it just wasn't working. And then I realized that I'm not a cool person. I'm not one of the cool kids. So I can't front and try to be, I'm gonna make this song that's gonna be real cool, because that ain't me. And it's funny because the opening sample of the song, you might not like who you are, but you better start liking it, because you sure can't be somebody else. That was perfect. So I started to write about me and being comfortable in my skin. So if you follow me on Twitter, or if you've had any kind of conversations with me, I sometimes use my name as a verb. What's going on, Malls? Ain't nothing, man, just Mallsing. So that's how I opened up the song. I'll be Mallsing while they all stalling. Some say it's good luck, some will say divine calling. I just use my name as a verb. So that's how I began to open it up to kind of talk about me. So I have that line, kick my shoes off, stretching out, choose to go a different route. Being me is a superpower. I just figured out, me at my age, I'm close to 40, just in the past few years, I'm really just now starting to get comfortable with who I am and accepting who I am, for better or for worse, the good, the bad, the indifferent. And it's such a good feeling. And when you realize that all your idiosyncrasies, all your little quirks or whatever that make you, that make you unique, that is your power. That's why I feel like, when I'm on a song, I bring something to a song that no one else can do. If I'm being authentic and being true to myself and who I am. And later on in the first verse, I have that line, I got everything I need right inside myself. It kind of felt like freedom in the truest sense of the word. Took the mask off, vision no longer blurred. That line's not about COVID. It was written before we all, came into this COVID situation that we're in. So this was about the mask that you wear to front for other people, or to make yourself feel like you fit in with a certain group or with certain people or in certain situations. Make you feel better about how you fit in those situations. It's not about the COVID masks. We should wear the COVID masks. Wear your goddamn masks. But those other masks, those facades, I fucking hate saying plural mask and plural desk too, because people say desks, but yeah, wear those masks. Don't wear the fucking facade, man. Be you. That's all that is. So, it's just saying that, I'm going to be me no matter what. And, staying on my mall shit no matter what they say to me. And that's kind of how I live my life, especially within the last several years of me being really comfortable with who I am and evolving into the person that I am today. Usually I do my hooks and my choruses. Those are usually the next to last thing that I do. If you watched the previous episode, I told you that naming songs is, terrible, and I'm bad at it. And I usually wait until the end to do it. But something that I feel like isn't my strong suit is writing hooks. I always try to get better at it. So this hook actually came to me immediately after I wrote the first verse, which is pretty rare for me. And I didn't really want the hook to be like super catchy, so that like a chant thing that you can have that will have people just repeating it to themselves. And I didn't want to write it so that it's like, oh man, that's so dope, it's so ill. You know, I really wanted the hook to just be a summary of what the song is about. And you know, I do little subtle tributes to previous, you know, artists of the past and songs of the past or whatever. And in this one, I actually tried to channel a little bit of Tupac. You know, when I say the hook, never do what the mothers do, you know, that was my version of the, you know, drinking Hennessy with the enemy, you know. But yeah, and so that was the hook. Go on to the second verse. And the second verse is another homage or paying homage, however you pronounce it. This one a lot more obvious. This one, you know, I start the verse off. I had the same old rhyme, the same old style, the same ripped jeans with the rainbow crown, and obvious nod, tribute to KRS. I had the same old rhyme, the same old style, the same old runner who has ran a mile. And with this verse, I started to kind of get into like one of those old head rants about the younger generation and their trends and their fashion and stuff. But I thought about it and I was like, well, that's how we find ourselves, right? And we do these things that the previous generation may give us side eyes about. You know, my generation did it, the generation before me did it, and so on and so forth. Like it's what happens. And so instead of scrapping it and kind of starting over, I decided to keep it and just kind of show that evolution of thought, you know, show that self-correction, the thought process behind it. You know, that being said, there are some things that, you know, the Gen Z and the younger millennials are doing that I don't necessarily rock with, but I've never been the type to get all upset over what other people do. It's for what, you know, like, so, you know, that's why I say, you know, now that's you if you dig it, but when the next style come, these limits gonna pivot. You know, my issue is specifically in rap music when you have these artists that seem like they were all just copy and pasted. They sound alike, they look alike, their names sound alike. But I also recognize that I'm an outsider. I don't really listen to that style of music. So someone who does listen to that style of music, they may be able to tell me like all the differences and nuances and what make each one different. Likewise, they may think that everyone who does the style that I do sounds and looks alike. So, you know, two sides, same coin. So I don't really pay too much attention to what other people do. So, you know, that's when I go into my line, you know, but I'm just preaching to the choir. Part of self-discovery is copying who we admire. Live and let live if the next man's inspired by the moves that I make, the Rocco and Young Squire. I realized that my audience isn't going to hear that first line and be like, oh, well, maybe I should stop wearing distressed jeans, because they're probably not wearing distressed jeans. So I'm preaching to the choir. But also, you know, I've had younger artists come up to me and just say, yo, man, I've been listening to you for a long time. I've been going to your shows for a long time. You're so dope, man. You influence me. You inspire me, blah, blah, blah. And that's really flattering. It's a really dope feeling. So, you know, nothing was created in a vacuum. You know, I didn't get here and was just planted here. You know, I'm the culmination of all the things that influenced me. You know, when I was younger, you know, coming up in high school, I wanted to be Cannabis. I made my voice all, you know, really grimy like this. And I used to rap like that and tried to write my rhymes just like Cannabis, which now he seems like a punchline. But back in 97, 98, he was that dude. You know, I tried to be Cannabis, Big Pun, like guys like that. And those guys, you know, were trying to be Rakim, Big Daddy Kane, Cool G Rap. And then those guys are trying to be Grandmaster Caz and Curtis Blow and Run DMC and all that. So, you know, nothing's created in a vacuum. Everything it's an evolution. And I decided to keep this verse as it was, as an evolution of my thought of saying like, oh, okay, well, this is messed up. Well, actually, no, that's just kind of how it is. And that's how you grow and become yourself. So that was pretty much all that second verse was, is just, you know, this is how you become a full person. This is how you get your individuality, by seeing what works and what doesn't work that you see around you. And again, so song titles, last thing that I do. The song was originally going to be called Self-Portrait because of my last line, painted self-portraits. Go ahead and picture that. And it was called Self-Portraits up until the time where I uploaded it to Bandcamp. And I was like, oh, let me just name it after a line in the chorus. So that's all for episode 2. Famous Last Words is out everywhere you get music. I would prefer you to download it from my Bandcamp. I have the link in the description. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so, put your friends on. Famous Last Words, again, produced by Grammy-nominated producer Drugs Beats and my rhymes. So go and get that. See you next week. Peace.
Never do what the mothers do. One of one, there can never be another you. And I'll become even better, always staying true. And I'ma do just exactly what I came to do. Yeah. So my mall shit, you know.